Hey guys, we're back again. Let's talk manifesto.
Okay, so what do we have here? We have two manifestos that are completely different. And for the first time ever, whoever's voted in this election will have a direct impact on all of our lives.
Two major parties, Tories, Labour. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's go. So we have one manifesto, the Conservatives, who are proposing to take away kids' free school meals. Like, did you guys just hear what I said? They're proposing to take away kids' free school meals.
Like, I don't even know how someone can even write that down, let alone propose it in a manifesto. But this is the Tories that we are talking about.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so statistics has proven that 3 million kids in the summer holidays go hungry because they have no free school meals. You know, obviously, it's 6-week holiday, kids are out of school. That's still shocking though. That's still shocking. What that says to us is that free school meals is a massive part of most kids' life on a daily basis. Now, beyond the no illusion, the Conservative government are aware of the statistics, and yes, still, they are still going ahead with a manifesto to take away kids' free school meals. That is going to have a devastating effect on every parent, every future parent, and more importantly, every child. Can you imagine, we live in a society where, kids are, always competing with each other. It's just a natural thing. I did it, she did it, we all do it. Okay, so can you imagine a mother sending her child to school because, she can't afford, to buy a decent packed lunch. And that child has got the basics. So, a sandwich, a drink, and maybe a fruit. And then across the table from that child, you have another child whose packed lunch is fully loaded. Fully loaded with everything. The dairy dunkers, the fruits, the sandwiches, we all know what fully loaded is. Can you imagine what effect that's gonna have on that child? That can lead to all sorts of things, low self-esteem, a child being bullied because they're not even having the basic necessities, of a school lunch. This is what the Conservative government are proposing. Labour is seeking to keep kids having free school meals.
Yes. Like, let's just even consider the fact that half of the people that are using food banks are employed. So how are people that are using food banks are expected to now provide lunchtime meals for their children? Like, where are they supposed to be getting the extra funds from? If you're already using food banks, how are you supposed to be now providing lunch and dinner for your child?
It's just ridiculous, guys.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Doesn't make any sense. So let's talk mental health. Currently, we have seen cuts to staffing levels, longer waiting times, and failing standards under the Tory government. This is not something that we should be experiencing in 2017. If you're a child and require treatment for your mental health, you're more than likely have to be transferred out of London, away from your family, away from your support networks to receive treatment. This is due to bed shortages. This is not something that is beneficial to families who are going through distress. Not at all. So the Labour government are currently proposing to invest more into mental health services. Let's start changing the way we view mental health. Let's see it as a priority, as something that is as a priority as a physical health problem. Mental health matters. Let's vote based on what matters. So let's talk NHS.
Okay, the NHS is in crisis right now. We all know it's in crisis right now. Like, it's all up in the air. We all know that. But the NHS was founded by Labour in 1948. Now, it wasn't the Conservatives who founded that, it was Labour who founded that. Okay, but guess what party wants to privatise it? The Conservatives. The Conservatives want to privatise the NHS. Now, what does that mean for me and you? It means that when we walk to the doctors, or drive to the doctors, or the hospital, we're going to be faced with a bill to pay for treatment. Now, that is absolutely absurd. Now, what's that going to mean for your everyday people? People are going to be gambling with whether they want to, with their illness or their sickness, because they're going to be thinking, do I have enough money to actually go to the doctors? Do I have enough money to actually go to the hospital? And what that will potentially mean is that people will be not having access to treatment, which means that diseases or treatment or illnesses, whatever it is, can actually get worse, which means that potentially there's going to be more death. And more death amongst who? It will be the working class people, because let's be clear, this is not going to affect the rich people. This is going to affect the everyday people like me and you, who are just trying to find a living in life, and we want our NHS free. So, who do we have? We have the Conservatives who want to privatise it and want to pump the money in somewhere else. Or we have Labour who's trying to keep it, who's trying to make it free for all. Not just one group of people, but for everyone. They're trying to make it free. So on the NHS, guys, the only party that we can trust with the NHS is Labour.
Let's save our NHS. So let's look at public safety. Let's be honest, the Tories are rubbish at internal and external public safety. Under the Tories, we have seen cuts to the police service. This means that when you dial 999 and you expect help to come, they are prioritising if they can even come, okay? This means that they are working at unacceptable level of risk. That puts us at an unacceptable level of risk because they are writing off certain crimes because they do not have the manpower to come and turn up and deal with whatever crisis you are going through. That's not something that we should be going through. People should feel safe. So under the Labour manifesto, they are proposing to increase police by 10,000. Another great thing that they're proposing to do is stop bombing countries that we have no right to be in the first place. Like, this is something that needs to be addressed.
Okay, so the event that happened in Manchester was a complete tragedy. It really was. However, let's not use the death of innocent people to be a campaign tool to actually, start war in another country. Okay, we have the Conservatives who are looking to do exactly that. We have the Conservative manifesto who are looking to start war in other countries, to supply countries with weapons. That is not what we actually need. We've had years of wars, and let's be completely honest, it hasn't done any good whatsoever. In fact, it actually caused a detriment to innocent lives. That is not what we need. So this is not a time to emotionally vote, and this is not a time to solely vote based on what the tragedy that happened in Manchester. This is a time to actually look at two manifestos. We have a cold manifesto, which is a Conservative, which is not for the people whatsoever. And we have a warm manifesto, which is Labour, who is for unity and peace. And that is exactly what we need.
Guys, we need change in this country. We need a change of thinking, and that's what Jeremy Corbyn is bringing. He's bringing a whole different way of thinking and things that resonate with us. These are things that matter to us, so it's nothing that he's proposing is unrealistic. These are things that we need, as a society to move forward. Like, we can't be thinking like Neanderthals in 2017. It's just, there's no place for it. Okay, so we have an opportunity to vote for either greed, power, war, division, or the opportunity to vote for somebody and a manifesto and a change manifesto that promotes love, unity, people working together, people including each other.
That is exactly what we need. Vote Labour. It's time for the good guys to win. It is time. And like I said, this election is not a joke. It really is not a joke. This is the one election that will have a direct impact on all of our lives. It's not a joke. Literally, if we vote for one, which is the Conservatives, that could potentially mean the risk of having a generation and a world with hatred, division, the poor suffering the worst. That is not what we need.
No.
And it's also not a time for people to be thinking, should I vote or should I not vote? All politicians are the same, all politicians lie. If we run with all politicians lie, okay, fair enough. But isn't it best to vote for a manifesto that potentially wants to help people rather than not voting and we all stand the risk of Conservatives getting back into power? This is not a time to be dilly-dally. This is a time to be thinking smart, thinking where we want our world to be, thinking what we want for ourselves and what we want for the next generation. And the only party that we can trust to put us in the right direction and lead us in the right direction is the Labour government. So vote for Labour.